Let's look at the Windows Server Jumpbox VM configuration. So that's this 030 VM Jumpbox Win. So we have a local variable that I define here just to make it easier for me to run a provisioner. So I could have included that in line, but I decided to include it as a local variable. Notice my use of non-sensitive here. I'm overriding the default behavior of Terraform to mark the app secret as sensitive, just so that we can have better debugging on the console. But for security reasons, you would probably not want to mark that non-sensitive for a production environment. Since we're doing demo work here, I'm going to go ahead and override it so that we can see the output from these provisioners in our console. So here's the resource for our JumpWin 1 Windows Server Jumpbox. So pretty straightforward stuff. We set, the name and the resource group and the location. We use we set the admin username and the admin password from our secrets and key vault. We create a NIC. We set up platform orchestrated patching. We set some tags for the resource, and define the operating system disk, define the source image, which is Windows Server 2022, and then we run the provisioner to register it with Azure Automation desired state configuration. So before the VM is marked complete, this script here, aadsc register node.ps1, has to be run successfully. Okay. And that script you can see here. And really it just has one significant command in it, this register DSC node command, which says, hey, register this node with Azure Automation desired state configuration and apply, a particular configuration to it. That's the one that we compiled in Bootstrap. Here's the network interface for Jumpbox Win, or JumpWin 1, sorry. And you can see that we're dropping it into the application subnet here. We're also setting a dependency here, which is basically saying, hey, don't create this NIC until all the NSGs have been associated with the subnet. Now here's where I push a couple of scripts onto JumpWin 1. So the two scripts that I push are the post-deployment script and the storage configuration script. And then I run the post-deployment script here using PowerShell. So this is the actual command that gets run. Now, why two scripts? So if we look at these two scripts, you can see I have to do this work in two phases. So this first script, if we just look at the main, what is this thing doing? So this script gets pushed to the VM using the custom script VM extension. And what it's going to do is it's going to register a scheduled task to run the second script. Okay. And it's going to do that because when you run a script using the custom script extension, it only can run as local system. You can't run it using domain credentials. So the approach that I use to run something using domain credentials is using a scheduled task. Okay. So we first thing we do is we create a new scheduled task action, and then we register the scheduled task. Okay. And then we start the scheduled task, and we kind of stay in a loop until it's finished. And then once it's done, we unregister the scheduled task. We don't want to leave it laying around, and then we're done. Okay, so basically, this first script is just a shell to run this second script using my domain admin credentials. Okay, so this second script, what does it do? This script really doesn't have much to do with jump when one. It's just using jump when one because it's a domain joined machine. In order to set up Kerberos authentication for Azure files, you have to run these PowerShell scripts on a domain joined machine. So we're using our jump box to do that, right? So what we're doing here is setting up a bunch of Kerberos values. We go and we look for the computer account associated with the storage account, and we did verify that that was there when we did our smoke testing for VNet shared. So I go pull and verify that that storage account is indeed registered with Active Directory domain services. If it's not, I throw an error and I recreate it. Actually, I don't throw an error. I grab it, and if it exists, I use it. If it does, if it exists, I delete it, and then I recreate it using new AD computer. Sorry. So because for idempotency, if this script gets run multiple times, it will automatically delete the computer account if it exists, and then recreate it for the storage account. So after I create it, I go get it, the computer account. And then these are all the values I have to create to do the Kerberos authentication. So next I'm going to log into Azure so I can do my work against the storage account. And I set my default subscription. And this is where we configure the storage account for Kerberos authentication. And once that's done, I can use Active Directory domain services credentials to authenticate to get to Azure Files shares. Okay, so those are the two scripts that get pushed to Jumpbox Win using the custom script extension here in lines 81 to 106. And when that's finished, my Azure Files share is fully configured and usable in my sandbox. All right, that's the Windows Server Jumpbox VM. Let's see if we forgot anything. We use platform patch orchestration. We get secrets. We use a provisioner to register it with Azure Automation desired state configuration. We install all this software, and then we push post-deployment scripts that configure Azure Files. So that's it.